Hey guys, how we doing today? So today we have something different in the shop, a little bit different, I guess. My sister was here a couple of weeks ago and says, hey, I got this four-wheeler that doesn't run. You think you could take a look at it for me? And I thought, well, I suppose. I don't really know much about them. So I think we're going to see if we can get it running. It had a dead battery. I charged the battery up on it and it just cranks and won't do anything. But anyway, we're gonna tear into that, see if we can figure out. I don't know if it's just bad gas or what. They said it was running, and it went and it sat for a while, and they never did get it started again. So I'm guessing it's a gas issue. So let's see if we can get this thing started. Right now it'll crank, it won't fire, it won't start. Let's pull the plug on it and see if we're even getting spark. They pulled all the plastic off of it before they brought it to me. I think it's a 2006. I was looking at it and I found it in here somewhere. It's a Foreman ES is what it is. But I think it's where did I see that? Yeah, TRX. Yeah, it's a TRX 500. Oh, there it is. Yeah, a 2006 TRX 500. So, but the plastic says Foreman ES. And I don't know what the ES is. I'm assuming, after looking at it, there's no shifter on it. So I'm assuming it's, that means it just forward and reverse on it is what I'm guessing, automatic. And it's got these, like I said, I know nothing about this thing. And it's got these buttons here, up and down arrow. I'm kind of guessing that's your shifter. I don't know. I won't know till I get it started. They didn't tell me anything about it other than the fact it doesn't run. So, and I've never messed with one of these. Anyway, first thing we'll do is we'll pull the plug, make sure it's firing, and then we'll go from there. Okay. All right, let's get this plug out of here. The plug is brand new, so they must have tried to put a plug in it and tried it, and it didn't do anything. So that's where they stopped, I'm guessing. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is firing. It's got spark. It's got a nice blue spark, so that's good. I'm guessing it's fuel. I'll put this back in. Let's give the old gas tank a sniff test here. Yeah, that fuel has seen better days. It hardly has any fuel smell at all to it. So let's figure out where the drain plug, or the let's do this. get this stuff right here off of it first. Let's see. Wow, the air filter's loose. So somebody's messed with it, trying to get it to fire. Let's get this guy right here off and take this cover off of it. All right, there's that off of it. This guy right here. Got one of these little wire, whatever they are, the little clamps. Let's see. Yeah, that fuel smells horrible. So I think I'm going to start by draining the tank, put some fresh fuel in it. That carburetor is probably going to have to come off of there and be cleaned. That's my guess. Let's take a look at this fuel. There's stuff floating in there, but it was already in the container. This doesn't even smell like gas at all. Yeah, we'll I don't know if you can see this or not, but it looks like gas. You know? Kinda. I mean, but it has very little gas smell to it. And the smell there is, it smells old. So we'll finish draining this, and I might go ahead and just pull the carburetor off of it, clean the carburetor and see. Or I might just put some fresh gas in it and see if it'll run. We'll see. All right, guys, I got the fuel tank emptied. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and remove the carburetor, just open it up, see what it looks like, see if it's dirty. So let's see, how does this carburetor come off? Well, it looks like we got this. Let's see here. So I think there's this thing here. I'll leave this electrical connector. I'm not sure what it is, but it's probably not a good idea for me to be pulling it off of there. It seems to me like I heard somebody say that was like a throttle position sensor or something like that, and I don't want to mess with that. So I think it'll unplug over on the other side. Okay, so our choke right here, that needs to come out. I think that's about a 13 or 15. So it's a 14. All right, there's our choke. And there's a plate right here that needs to come off, a cover, and I think that's going to be our throttle in there, and we can get our throttle loose in there. And I believe from there I can just take my screws out of the boots and work it out of there. All right, so I didn't have a screwdriver that would go through to get this screw, so I just loosened up the boots on the carburetor and turned the carburetor. Now I can get to that. There's your throttle cable right there. We'll just put a wrench on it and back it out of there. I'm guessing that's going to be a 10. All right, there's your throttle cable out of the way. So I should be able to wrangle that thing out of there now. All right, guys, I got it. It was a struggle, but it came out of there. Oh, and I need to unplug this guy right here. All right, guys, got the carburetor up here on the bench. I don't think I'm going to get into it real hard as far as go too deep. I'm just basically going to pull the float bowl off of it, see what it looks like. If it looks pretty clean, we're going to call it a day in here. So well, you probably can't see this, but there's a little bit of crud in there. So I might go ahead and pull the jets out of it. That looks pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of green in there. So we'll just go ahead and clean the jets in it, and that'll probably take care of our issue. I'm surprised there's no fuel in the float bowl. So I'm guessing this float was closed, was stuck closed, because it was kind of hard to come out. So you know, I can't tell if that was already on my hands or what, but yeah, we'll just clean this thing up. All right, guys, let's get this thing sprayed out here. So that thing was kind of, that I'm assuming that's a primer, so that was kind of stuck. Yeah, this all stems from bad gas. That's exactly what it is. You know, the gas today is it's just horrible. You know, I burn non-ethanol in all my small engines, and the non-ethanol gas will last for probably a year. In fact, I've got some that has been almost a year. This ethanol stuff is horrible. A couple of months and you end up with, see, this carburetor is not bad, but you can see that it's starting, and I'll get these jets out of here, and I got a feeling, I think the problem with this one was the seat for the needle was stuck, so it wasn't letting fuel in the carburetor. You know, I had to kind of mess with the needle out of it, so I could probably put it together right now and it'll run, but I want to clean these jets, make sure they're clear, and then we'll go from there. And you can see, I don't know, you probably can't see it on camera, but there's green. It's just kind of starting to turn green, so that's pretty much a telltale sign that it's. Oh yeah, you can see that. See all the green around it there? Yeah, and those, I'm sure those are plugged up. So. Again, just I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's got crap on it. Yeah, I think once I clear these out, I think we'll be good. So what I'm gonna try is, there's all these little holes in here. I'm gonna try a welding tip cleaner for torches. See if there's something in the size that I need there. And you just got to be careful, and you don't want to enlarge those holes in here. Which these tip cleaners, they have a little, and I don't know if that would do it or not, but they have these little, it's almost like a file on them. So against that, and these are stainless steel, so against that brass, I could see where you could cause an issue with these things. But just work all these little holes, and then we'll clean it with carburetor cleaner, get it all cleaned up, make sure everything is flowing good. And what I'll do, to kind of clean this, I've got a little piece of fine Scotch-Brite. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's see. Yep. All right, there's that one. This one right here, this little guy is clear. We'll just spray him and clean him up a little bit. Then there's this one here. It's got that tiny little hole. We'll get him cleaned up. See if we can run the wire through here. Yeah, that guy's plugged up. Yeah, this one's plugged in here. Oh yeah. See if we can find a smaller one here. Yeah, that is plugged tight. All right, guys, so this is what I did. So this little guy here, the welding tip cleaner, it wasn't small enough to get through that hole. So I went and got me just some stranded wire I had over there, and I took a strand, just a single strand, and I ran that down through there. So, and it had a little chunk of stuff come out of it. So yeah, now you can blow through it. So we're good here on this one. Let's try something here. What I need is a little brush to get down in there, but I don't have one. So let's try this. Yeah, that's good. Just spray this all out real good. Spray the outside of it. Spray the choke. We'll just start putting this baby back together, and we'll get it back on the bike and see if she'll run. Put some fresh gas in it. Putting these things back together, we want to get them tight, but we don't want to get them overly tight, because you're just asking for trouble if you try to crank them down too much. Okay. Okay. All right, so see if we can get this in here, this seat, the needle seat, blah, blah, float. There we go. And this, the pin that holds it in, it goes, it's knurled on one end here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a knurl on one end. So this has to go in a certain way, and I believe, let me see if I can figure out which way it went in. Yeah, I believe it went in like this. Or did it? Yeah. So just tap, we'll just do a little tappy tap on that, and just like that. And let's see. Okay, that's working like it's supposed to now. So that goes just like that. So this I'm just putting a little bit of grease on this gasket here. Since I mean, if this doesn't work, I'll end up buying a kit for it. But I think this will work. I think this thing just needed cleaned. Okay, which way did this go? Yeah. So I think that's as far as we're going to go with it for now. I think our diaphragm and everything up in here is probably going to be fine. If it's not, I can always get into it with it on the bike. Let's put it back on the bike and see if we can get this thing running. All right, guys, so I ended up taking the airbox out of it just because it's just, I don't like fighting, you know? If I can take something out to make it a little easier, that's what I'm going to do. So, we need to put our throttle cable back in. So then we'll just screw this in, just like it came out. Just snug that up. Okay. Now we can slide this down in here. We want to put our cover on it first, I guess. Basically, it's a reverse everything that the way it came apart. Just put it back. This hose here goes down into this guy right here. Just like this one goes into this guy right here. You need to put our choke in. Okay. It looks like you probably should be really careful with this choke cable because it's just plastic, so I could see where that could be a potential issue. So we'll loosen our carburetor back up and turn it a little bit. That's kind of an awkward angle for me to get my fat fingers in. There we go. Yeah, that's got it. I believe that was a 14. So we'll just finish hooking up all our hoses and plugs, and I'll come back when I'm ready. We'll see if we can get it running. All right, guys, I got the carburetor back on, got the air box back in it. I haven't put the filter on because I cleaned it and it's sitting out in the sun drying right now. As soon as that's dry, I'll put it on and I'll oil it up and put it back on. But I think I can go ahead and try to start it. I believe I've got everything, and it's right where it's supposed to be. And yeah, all I can do is just give it a shot here. Turn the gas on. I got fresh non-ethanol gas in it, about maybe half a gallon or so. Let's see what we got here. Key on, choke. It's probably going to have to get some gas down in the there we go. There it is. Let it sit here and idle a couple of minutes. guys, there it is. Let's all put back together. She's running pretty good, so let me show you what. Let's see if she'll. Fuel issue, cleaning the carb. Feels good. Alright guys, there you have it. My sister or brother-in-law, sister, they brought it to me. It didn't run. He said his son was riding it and it just quit. So well, you saw what I did. You know, first thing, you know, you want to check spark. If you see if you got spark, you know. If you got spark, then there's part of the battle. Then I always just check the fuel. Just check, see if it's out of gas or how it smells. And this one here, as soon as I smelled it, I knew something was not right. And it didn't smell like gas. I thought it was old gas, but it didn't smell like, it had a real faint gas smell. And I thought, this is not right, you know. So I drained the tank, and you saw the fuel that come out of it, and it really didn't look like gas. It was way too yellow for today's gas. And you know, and I just couldn't figure out what it was, what kind of a smell it was. You know, I just assumed it was just bad gas. Well, you know, I cleaned the carburetor and got it running, put fresh gas in it. So talking to Curtis, the guy that owns the quad, I was talking to him, and he said that his son had been using it and kept it at his house. And I told him what I found, and he thinks that somebody dumped some like stove oil or something in the tank, because he said he always used non-ethanol good gas. So, and that's what I use. I'm able to get non-ethanol gas here, and I put that in all my small engines. I even put that in my old green truck. So we think that somebody dumped something in it that wasn't supposed to have been there, like kerosene, stove oil, or whatever. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was kerosene. I think it was some sort of stove fuel or something. But anyway, at any rate, that was the problem. So we're going to leave that one right there. I'm going to call him and tell him, you know, it's good to go. I actually have I've got his truck here too, and I got to fix some foam in his seat. So I'll record that. Pull the foam, pull the seat out, take the foam out of it, and do that. But anyway, if you guys like this, please give me a thumbs up, likes. I could really use the likes and the subscriptions. And till next time, you guys take it easy, and we'll see ya.